Good morning. Yep. What you doing? What you doing? Getting some money? Huh? I hope you are. Hope you're doing something.
Turn at the first left onto 54 highway.
What you doing? Better be getting some money. Let me know. Yeah, so if you didn't know, this is Block Life Vlogs. Previously the Truck and Block. I welcome you back to another vlog. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me feedback. You got any questions that need to be answered? Shoot your questions. If you dislike the video, dislike it. But interact with me. I'll interact with you back. So, my day currently started at, what time did I leave? My day started, well, not today, it was last night. This trip started for me, this trip I'm taking now started for me last night around 10 p.m. Going to a city right outside of Phoenix, Arizona called Goodyear, Arizona. Distribution center is Chewy. They're the receiver. I've already been to the shipper, which was in Spring Hill, Kansas, right outside of Garden. So I don't know what I'm hauling. I'm gonna take a guess. Has something to do with some kind of dog food. You know, I am going to chew, but I don't know exactly what the materials are. Quite a trip. 18 and a half hours of driving. You can cut it down to about 18, especially with a truck like the one I'm driving right now. This truck here can go faster than the governed truck I was in previously, the blue truck. Now this ain't my permanent truck. This is a loaner from the other driver that works in this company. There's only two drivers, like I stated before. He's gonna hang back and wait for the blue truck to finish, and then take that blue truck on a trip when it's ready. Now, I'm not gonna talk about that. That's for my owner to, you know, figure out. I'm not gonna get in his business. I'm not gonna share his business. You know, all I'm gonna share with you is this trucking experience. Now, it's come to my attention that we have newbies out here, right? And I was a newbie once. Just a few years ago, I was brand spanking new to the game. Eyes wide open, didn't know what I was getting into. Had kind of an idea because my grandfather drove for like almost 30 years or so, and then he was forced to retire. So I had an idea, but, and not only that, I came from the railroad, so heavy machineries, and before that, bobcats and all kinds of backhoes, all kinds of stuff, right? I had an idea, but I didn't know. And it's funny looking back on it when I didn't know. You know, I watched a few of my old videos, and I even thought back to how I was acting and thinking and maneuvering then in this trucking industry. And I laughed. But I learned quickly. I learned very quickly that in this industry, you gotta move strategically. Okay, you can't just go around, you know, thugging out, because then you won't have a job. And you have to have a goal when you get into this. I've had a goal since day one. Since the day I decided to go get my CDL, I made up in my mind that I will become an owner-operator. I will. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. One way or another, I will become an owner-operator. I'm putting in my time. I'm learning the craft. And even with 15 years experience, you can learn something new. So, just paying attention to what's going on around me. I say all that to say this. New drivers. I'm I'm gonna give you this advice via video. I done made comments under other videos of new drivers that's booming right now. Congratulations to your channel. You are doing a good thing, but just make sure you maneuver in a certain kind of way so other people don't maneuver, the wrong way, end up not having a job at the end of the day and then quitting the industry because they believe that it's not fair to them. One thing you have to understand, you got to put your pride to the side sometimes. Okay, it's chess, not checkers. You might be right in the situation, but if you're trying to get your foot in the door, you got to remember this. Even if you had all the money in the world to buy you a fleet of trucks and put drivers in them, and you're not even driving, you're going to have a reputation. So if you already went out on this YouTube, let's say your YouTube booms, and you get monetized, and you're making thousands of dollars off your channel from sharing your experiences, right? Let's say you go buy, let's be more realistic, because I said a fleet of trucks. A fleet is 3 or more. Let's say you just get a couple trucks, okay? And you've already made videos talking about other companies and how you feel about them, and recording the whole process of you backing and operating their equipment and everything, which is a no-no. You don't do that, because they will use that against you. They will say that you're violating policy, and it's a known fact. It's a known fact that all these companies do not want you recording while you're operating equipment. Now, you're saying, well, Ron, you doing it? Yeah, but I'm working for an owner, okay? An owner that is just starting in the industry and that really doesn't trip on what I do. He hired me for my experience, so he knows the drill. I'm not going to be unsafe. But you got to think about these mega carriers. They're mega carriers. I've worked for them before, but I was strategic on how I moved and what I said and how I did it. Let me break this down for you, because I was thinking about it. I was watching a video just a minute ago, and every time the young man said something, I was like, oh man, I wish I knew him. I wish I had his number. So I hit him up, be like, don't do that. Because he was, he was going off on a tangent of doing what he want to do, and I'm like, that's not going to work. You're going to get messed over in the game. He's already been messed over one time. They showed their hand. They showed you what they can do. And you can be as mad as you want and say, well, I have freedom of speech and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You got to remember, it's not your equipment. It's not your authority. It's not your MC number. Okay? It's not your FMCSA situation. It's theirs. And remember, new people, new drivers, they have been running these companies long before you even came along. They've had plenty of bright-eyed new people come through their doors with all kinds of ideas. They fired many of them for recording, many of them for talking negative, many of them for wrecking and damaging product. Okay? They're not new to this. They've had thousands of wrecked trucks. Every company has. Every season. They count on it happening. They don't get all upset because 100 trucks got wrecked or jackknifed. They count on this happening. You got to remember, these companies have big time money. They have big stakes in this. Okay? These companies meet up with the feds. All right? Mind you that. They meet up with the feds to be in compliance. So if they're meeting with the feds, what makes you think that a new driver is going to sway or change the way they do their policies, the way they move, or they're going to care that it's unfair on how they treat them? I've seen drivers get fired for the dumbest reasons because they were recording. Back when I first started, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to name the channel. There was an older gentleman. I forgot the name of the channel anyway, so it don't matter. But he worked for USX. And the 3 examples I got, they worked for USX because I was interested in going to USX, just like you were when you were new. I researched. I wanted to see how the hiring process went from a perspective of a new driver. You know, I just got my CDL. I did very well in school. I naturally have ability to operate heavy machinery, so I was confident in my skills, but I was unsure on what the process would be, right? So I went and researched. I came across an older gentleman. This the first guy I came across when I typed in USX and, you know, hiring process, all that. He was leaving one company to go to another. He already had like 5 years under his belt or so. He was a good driver. He became a trainer, right? Now, he was recording while driving, recording while maneuvering, recording while operating, period, with USX. Now, USX clearly states in their policy that is no way, shape, or form acceptable that you use your cell phone while operating their equipment. Unless the parking brake is pulled and you're sitting still. That's the only way you can record. They tell you this. They tell you this. Okay? Not only do they verbally tell you, they show it in video. They show what can happen when you don't pay attention. They go over accident reports that's happened in the past to them and other companies. They even show videos. You have instructors that have been in the game long enough, that have been a driver themselves, because 9 times out of 10, the instructor that you're going to have when you go for this orientation or training, and new guy, don't get all excited. It's all the same thing. It's a driver's market. They're hiring drivers by the dozen. Okay, so you're going to be a part of thousands of guys are going to hire this year. Or women, they're going to hire this year. So pay attention to the videos and policies and the driver with experience that's telling you not to record while operating their equipment, because they mean that. You got to understand, the people that own these companies, 9 times out of 10, have never driven a truck in their life. The CEOs, shareholders have never driven a truck in their life. They might have sat in the truck, took pictures of a USX truck, or whatever the case might have been, but they've never physically operated a truck, nor do they have a CDO or know what it's like to be a truck driver. So when you record, even though you're confident in your skills, they're going to be looking at that as a safety issue, which it is technically, which I'm doing right now, technically. But I'm not holding the phone. I got my view straight ahead of me. I can see my mirrors. I'm on a 2-lane highway, nothing around me. It's discretion. And I don't work for a mega carrier that has a policy of no cell phone use. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This guy I was watching, like I said, he was coming from one company into this company with experience. He's been a trainer before for the other company. He went through the whole hiring process with USX, and he told the absolute truth. Because when I went through it, it was exactly like how he said it. I guess, you know, I was watching old videos, so when I got to him, he'd already made these videos like 3 years prior, so I just caught on to him. So in the process of this going on, I watched a bunch of videos of his, you know, while I was on my way to Chicago, to Markham, Illinois, to do orientation, all that stuff. He showed the whole process, and then he was showing videos when he got acclimated with the company. A year had passed, a year and a half, 2 years had passed. He became a trainer. He had students on his truck. He was filming his students. He was sharing the student experience. He was asking them how they felt about it. Recording them maneuvering. He got fancy with it. He got better at his editing. Like, his videos were flawless, nice looking. He had an intro, everything, right? Now, he ran into a problem. Got a new student, went to a truck stop. They couldn't find a parking spot, but one spot on the end, which truck drivers, you know, you do not want to park on the end. If you park on the end, at that point, you're just like, forget it. I'm tired. I need to park somewhere. And if my company gets mad, I can tell them I parked in an actual parking spot. Now, this goes back to what I'm saying, new guy. They can let you go for anything, even when you do nothing wrong. So, peep gang, USX wants you to park at a truck stop, not on the side of the road, not in the entrance of the truck stop, not in front of the gas pump, not in front of the scale, not next to the scale, not anywhere that is not a designated parking spot for a semi-tractor trailer. They tell you that in the policy if you read it. I read it. It tells you in there, don't do that. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was some days, there was no spots. I had to do what I had to do. I ain't gonna tell you the details, but I had to do what I had to do. Okay, it wasn't on the side of the road at least. But they wouldn't have been happy about where I parked because it could have caused damage. Now that goes into what I'm about to tell you. He parked. He had the student park in a certain spot. The student did well. Okay? He parked it there in a designated semi-tractor trailer parking spot. He followed the rules. He's a trainer. He's following the rules. He was an excellent driver up until this point. And I say up until this point because in a minute I'll let you know something about him. Like I said, I'm not going to give up his name. Just giving you an example, new guy. Just hear me out. All right, so anyway, upon doing that, they go to sleep. This is after they take a shower and get something to eat, and you know, they move on with their night, and so on and so forth. A less experienced person comes around that corner where they're parked, because they're parked on the end of the road, and they swipe the nose of this pretty brand new USX truck. Rip the bumper off, tear up the light, so on and so forth. You truckers, you know how I go. They tore it up. They didn't swing wide enough. It's a freaking trailer. They didn't swing wide enough. Tore his truck up. It was not his fault. Woke him up out of his sleep. He took pictures. He called safety immediately like he was supposed to. I've had to call safety before, and I'll tell that story another time. It wasn't my fault. But I didn't get fired because I wasn't recording stuff. Anyway, wasn't his fault. Wasn't the student's fault. He parked in a designated parking spot. Peep game. Someone in HR had been watching his videos. They were waiting on the moment he was gonna mess up on video and then post it, because he posted everything. He was upfront, honest, real. He posted everything. From how you get a shower at the truck stop to backing up into truck spots that are difficult with a bunch of trucks around you. You got a pretty $200,000 Peterbilt sitting here, customized lowered to haul cars next to you there, and a pretty trailer on this side that a person dropped, and you got to get in between. He showed all that. He showed weighing up. He showed going through chicken coops, as we call them, weigh houses, whatever you want to call them. He showed DOT inspection. He showed everything. This HR person was waiting on the moment that he made a mistake. He made a mistake, even though he did make a mistake. And what I mean by that is, like I said earlier, as truckers, we do not like to park on the end of a road where trucks are turning in and out, because you might get swiped. You might have an incompetent driver that's not paying attention, swipe you. I've gone into truck stops where I had to squeeze through the entrance to get in because somebody said, forget it, I'm gonna risk it. If somebody hits my trailer, they hit me. Anyway, they Uber him and his student to a terminal. They tow the truck away, put it in the shop, and tell him, hey, you're on standby. We're gonna give you breakdown pay, right? Which they did. A few days go by, he posts a video. I'm fired from USX. Wanna know why? Because he was recording while operating equipment. He did nothing wrong. He was doing what he was supposed to do. He was delivering on time. He didn't tear nothing up. He parked where he was supposed to park. He was training his students properly. He actually was encouraging. You know, he gave a lot of inspiration to people. He taught me something. Heck, he was part of the reason why I went with USX. Because when you're a student, you're brand new, you have options. You got to decide where you're going to go to get your real deal experience. And we all got to go through it. You got to ride with a trainer and all that until you get to a certain point, which the point I'm at now, if I apply at a mega carrier, I'm not riding with no trainer. They're not going to do that to me. They're going to immediately give me a truck. It's called first seat driver. Drivers know what I'm talking about. Anyway, fired. Okay? I'll give you another example. I'm going to try to be quick because I don't want this video to be long. There was a guy, he had swag. I mean, his video, his intro, he had his own rap song in his intro. USX. Now, I looked up him because I was already working for USX, working solo with experience at this time. I decided I wanted to do dollar count. So I looked up, again, I researched. I was like, let me see if somebody's doing a dollar account. Sure enough, I found videos of a young man recording himself unloading, back in the truck, operating the truck. But here's what he messed up. Now, this is a little different. He was bad-mouthing the company all while doing this. In the back of the trailer, in the cab, bad-mouthing them. He was even pumping gas one day, bad-mouthing. And I was thinking in my head, like, I don't know, will he get in trouble for that? Because at the time, I'm still fairly new. I got a little experience, but I'm still fairly new to the game. I'm like, I don't know, man. That one guy got fired just for recording. So that's the policy. As a USX driver, if they catch you on their inward-facing camera, you driving, operating, holding the phone, they can fire you. But anyway, bad mouthing them and everything. He was great. He was a great driver. In my opinion, he had skills. It didn't take him long to back up. He was a natural. You know what I'm saying? And some of these new people, you know, I get it. You're gonna take longer than others to back up a truck. But if you're having trouble, if you're taking longer than 15 minutes to back a trailer into a hole or dock it anywhere, you need to call your fleet manager or someone and explain to them that you would like to have a trainer set up a couple trailers at a terminal somewhere. And 9 times out of 10 with these mega carriers, they already have trailers set up, cones set up in certain spots on these terminals for new people to train and learn. Just go. Sometimes you'll see it already sitting out there. Just go to, you know, whoever's there and say, hey, you know, can we get somebody out here so I can practice? Do that, please. Do that, please, because you should not be taking no longer than 15 minutes. And I'm quickly tell you why. It's frustrating for the shipper, receiver. It's frustrating for other drivers. It's frustrating for you. It just makes the whole situation frustrating. Please get your training in. Try to get better at it. Make an effort to get better at it. Don't just learn while you're at the shipper. Don't just learn when you get to the receiver. Don't learn at the truck stop, because you're going to get guys that are going to be buttholes. They're going to cuss you out. You're going to get into it with folks. You're better off learning at your home terminal where nobody's pressuring you and you got somebody there giving you key points face to face. That's not biased. They work for your company. They have your best interests at heart. Go to the terminal and learn. Anyway, this kid was a natural. Dollar account, right? He works for a whole nother company now. He still got, you know, he's still getting it in, making his money. But anyway, he bad-mouthing the company and everything. He made a video at a gas pump, bad-mouthing them. He was so upset about what they were doing and so on and so forth. A couple days later, you guessed it, here comes the video. I got fired from USX, you know, with the picture like this on the thumbnail. Y'all gonna learn. When you work for a mega carrier, do not record. And then another thing too, I heard a new guy say this. Well, I'm not gonna show my truck number. I'm not gonna show the company name. I'm just gonna still put out content of me, you know, giving you the ins and outs of my experience. That's fine, but you need to do it part. Because no matter what, the company knows your face. They know you work for them. It's not just other truckers hating on you, watching you do your thing. It's not just people that don't have a CDL watching you do your thing and hating on you. Or the other end, it's not just people that love you and love your content. It's not just that. Companies watch you. If they catch wind that you have a channel, they're going to watch you. I'll tell you what, JB Hunt watched me. Heard through the grapevine, they saw a couple of my videos, but they couldn't say nothing to me about it, because guess what I did? I did not operate their equipment while recording. I sat perfectly still, and I mentioned every time I recorded, I say I got my parking brake pulled, and I'm sitting at such and such truck stop. I'm sitting at the DC. I'm sitting at this Aldi's. And I said that because they have GPS on the truck, and they can triangulate the time that I made the video or what I'm saying, they can say, oh, he's telling the truth. It's not moving. I can't get busted for that. And I also didn't give away trade secrets because that's the way they feel about it. I did not show me unloading the trucks at Aldi. I did not show me backing into a Aldi. I didn't show me walking up to a Aldi. I didn't show me backing up or driving into the DC. I didn't show a video of me walking into the DC office. Now, I did sit at the DC in my personal vehicles and the truck. That's it. That's it. If you saw the tablet that was in my unit, the tractor I was using, you briefly saw it. I didn't give away nothing. That's the way you do it. You can show your face. You can show who you work for, because it was on my shirt at the time. I even wore the JB Hunt hats. But they couldn't bust me for nothing because I was saying good things about the company. And I was just doing my job without operating the equipment while recording. They couldn't get me for that. It was free advertisement for the company. Here's a guy talking about what he's doing, but he's doing it safely without operating the vehicle while holding the cell phone, or the cell phone's in the mount and he's recording and talking to it like I am right now, but I work for an owner op. That's the difference. Now, they tried. I had a manager try to get me on some bogus stuff, but they couldn't terminate me because I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And I think on his conscience, I mean, would he feel good firing me just because he was hating on me making videos? I don't think so. New driver, nobody's hating on you when it comes to the experienced drivers telling you something that they already know. It's not that they're hating on you or that they don't like your buzz. Me personally, I'm going to tell you straight up from a guy that has experience. And I don't have a ton of experience. There's guys that have way more experience than I do. You know, they've been driving trucks since overcabs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, I'm going to keep it honest. And I know it's going to be guys that see this, but why? I have more miles going backwards than you go. I get it. My grandpa was one of those type of guys. He talked that junk to me when I told him when I was going into this industry. You know, as he put it, busted my balls. He told me junk. Okay, I get it. But I'm going to tell you, start listening to what I say. Start listening to what they say. The delivery might not be right, but they're right. I read a lot of comments under this young man's video and other videos of the other young men and young women that are new to the industry. And it's the same constant baseline across these new people's pages. Some are smaller than others. Some are big. Some are blowing up. But what I see with new drivers is this confidence that they can just do whatever they want to do while operating the equipment. No. Listen to these experienced drivers. Okay? It's a reason why we have more than just a few months under our belt, or a year under our belt, or 2 years under their belt. We have that experience. We still have our jobs, and we're still moving forward towards our goals because we know something. So you might want to listen. That's all I'm going to say. You might want to listen and pay attention. The guys I mentioned, they're doing okay now, but they hit a rough patch after that. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. And they were honest about it. It was hard for them to get jobs because they had a bad stain. These companies communicate with each other. They know who you are and what you're doing. Okay? So take heed of that, please. Please do. And I'm not hating on you, okay? I'm not by far. I can give you a laundry list of things that's going well for me that you don't have going on as a new driver right now. I'm not hating on you at all, okay? But just know you need to come into this industry with open ears and an open mind, and not take everyone that's giving you advice as a person that's trying to put you down, okay? I want to see all of you win. I really do. I don't want to see nobody doing bad. I want them to do just as good or better than me, okay? I don't want to see them doing worse than me at all. I don't. That's why I can't stand it when I see new people get on here and shoot themselves in the foot. It happens all the time. It's annoying. And I know you're not doing it on purpose, but it's annoying. I'm like, man, please don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Please don't please don't, let them see you doing this or that or badmouth the company, because I know how they get down, man. They shady, man. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Here's another thing too. If you think you're gonna threaten them or scare them by saying something that you're gonna do, you're not. You ain't nothing but a driver. Okay, remember that. You're brand new to the game. You ain't nothing but a driver. They can ruin your career long before you try to ruin theirs. Okay. And furthermore, I said this before to a few drivers that went on YouTube, going on about what happened with the company. They're going to base what you're doing with the current company as what you'll do with them. It's called integrity. It's called integrity. They're going to see that and say, oh, is that how they going to act? Oh, okay, well, shoot. You'll have companies bring you into orientation and turn you right back around because they'll see a video on YouTube. Just keeping it funky with y'all, man. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you have every right to. But guess what? I can say I tried, and I'm still gonna make my money. What you gonna do? It's up to you to take the advice. You gonna make your money and work towards your goal? Because I have a goal of being an owner out. Or you just gonna be bullheaded and keep doing what you want to do and find out the hard way. Like I said, these mega carriers been here long before you started, long before you were born, and they're gonna be here after. Just keeping it funky with you, man. All right. My grandpa put in damn near 30 years in this business. They were here before he started, and they here after. That's just a good example for you right there. I'm 33 years old. That shows you. They've been around longer than I've been alive. So, hey, 20-year-old, shaping up and listen to what I'm saying, man. I ain't trying to put you down. Now, if you want to take it negative, take it negative. Comment, make a response video, however you feel about it. Just know, I'm going to comfortably sit in this chair right here, in this seat right here, and make my money. I've been where you've been with no experience. Remember that. And so as any other driver that has more experience than me. And this is the funny part too. I still to this day watch YouTubers with more experience than me to get advice. Straight up. To this day. I'll go to heavy haul YouTubers. I'll go to Asian Mai. I'll go, man, hey. Now, I stopped watching a couple of them because their history and what they were doing was kind of janky. But I watched quite a bit of people. And, I soak up game. And I'm 33 years old with experience. And that shows you something right there. You have a lot to learn if you're brand new. If I'm still having a lot to learn, you have a lot to learn as well, okay? So don't get overconfident, talking crazy about these companies, what you gonna do and how you gonna do it, and get fired before you even get hired. Okay? Again, do not operate their equipment while using a cell phone or any camera to record what you're doing. If you make a mistake, don't post it on YouTube. You're telling on yourself. And I get you want to be honest. But they're going to find out either way if you're honest to them. But you don't have to put it as public knowledge. And again, this goes back to being humble. I understand that you want to share and you don't want to be fake, but you're dealing with billion-dollar companies. These companies are making $15 billion or more a year. They have a reputation to uphold, and you're just one lowly driver. It's nothing to just get rid of you because you're a liability. That's how they're going to look at it. Oh, he's posting his mistakes online. That's making us look bad. He's a liability. That's what Swift is going through right now. I'm just keeping it 100. Swift, they're used to it now, but they were going through it then. They're going through it now. They have a bad reputation for tearing up stuff. And they just wish drivers would stop getting caught. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, they had a driver record his co-driver get stuck in the mud. They threatened him with termination. That's how serious these companies are, man. So stop recording yourself when something goes bad. Take my advice. If you don't want to take it, fine, so be it. I ain't gonna say another. That's 4 times I done told you in this video, man. Maybe 5. I can't remember quite, but I done told you enough times in this video. The most polite way I can. And I'll watch what happens from there. Because I watched it happen time and time again. So that's my point today. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to say something, go to the comment section below. And please subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing to listen to me talk. Am I running my mouth sometimes? Might be. But this is Block Life Vlogs. If you don't like what I'm saying, hit the dislike button. Analytics is YouTube, right? But hey, that's my word for the moment. I'll get back to you with another video. Peace.